Next on All Access.
Ultimately, if I made the most of my opportunities, that I would have the opportunity of of a lifetime that I've dreamed about.
Fires down, little pass intercepted by Duggar.
Hey, nice job.
Nearly 17 years ago, October 28th, 2007, the Patriots put a beating on the then Washington Redskins.
Play action fake, right side, touchdown, Mike Vrabel.
He dressed up as Yoda at the children's Halloween party.
If I'm the oldest guy there, I might as well be Yoda.
Hard Rock Stadium in South Florida continues to be the Patriots' house of horrors as New England loses to Miami. Hello and welcome to Patriots All Access presented by GEICO. I'm Steve Burton. I hope you had a safe and happy Halloween. More tricks than treats for the Patriots, who fall to 2-6 on the season. And with that loss, New England is now looking up at the rest of the AFC East with a big hole to climb out of. Next up, a home game against an unfamiliar foe, the new-look Washington Commanders. Can the Patriots get back on track? We'll preview that contest, but first I look back at a missed opportunity in Miami.
Mostert runs it through the right side, and he's chopped down by Christian Barmore.
All the downhill plays are downhill, so you can work to the inside shoulder of that and just take it off.
One left for Tagovailoa, drops back, fires down, little pass intercepted by Duggar. He makes the play from the ground, rises to his feet, runs past the 35 before he's shoved to the near side by Hill.
Hey, nice job.
Play clock under 5. Mack takes it on 3rd and 4. Stands in, throws across middle court, catches 10, runs left 5, into the end zone. Touchdown off the takeaway for the Patriots. Right, 2 left. Jones takes the snap waist high. 4-man rush, throw down the middle, caught by Douglas, who slides down and then takes a hit at midfield. Douglas motions in from the left. Jones takes it to him, throws it to the far sideline, picked off.
Are you kidding?
And pass down the right side by Jalen Ramsey, 30, 35, 40. Stepped out of bounds on the 40. Jason Sanders is out for a 30-yard field goal attempt from the right hash marks. This kick airborne to the uprights is good. Rager to the left, Douglas in motion left, play fake by Jones, dropping back, throws it over the middle, it's caught by Henry, turns across the 45, upended. A 4th and goal to go, the play clock is down to 2, it's down to 1. The snap, Jones throws it right, wide open, Smith-Schuster. Snap, Tagovailoa, play fake, throw down the middle, wide open Waddle to 15-yard line. Nobody near him, into the end zone. He's going to celebrate with his teammates. En masse, doing the Penguin walk.
Welcome to our Bob's Discount Furniture Studios. This is Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. This Miami game, was this a missed opportunity or what?
Well, I mean, if you look at it, they had a lot of momentum, I thought, sort of starting to build off of that Buffalo win, Mike, especially the way they won it in the fourth quarter, making the big plays. I thought they had a chance to sort of try to stack two positive performances together, and they weren't able to do it. Now, the opponent, I think, was much more prepared to play than Buffalo was, and had an awful lot of talent on the field. So I hesitate to say they missed an opportunity because I think, in the end, the better team won.
Yeah, I think Miami's the more talented team, but I do think they missed an opportunity from this standpoint. I mean, what were the things that had been holding them back? Slow starts. Right. Well, they didn't have a slow start. They actually got ahead in the game.
Right.
Turnover differential. They were actually +1 in the game. Right. So to me, it was something else that got them in. It was giving up big plays and untimely turnover at the end of the second quarter that ended up getting them. So when I look at it, I say, well, yeah, it is a missed opportunity because you had corrected some of the things that had been holding you back before.
Not only did they lose the game, they lost some key players in this game. One, Mac's favorite weapon in Kendrick Bourne. So now what?
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because, they have a lot of different bodies at wide receiver, Mike, but only one that has generally been reliable to make some plays, and that was Kendrick Bourne. And I think what really struck me, and I know you were there, and I'd be curious to hear your thoughts about it, but just, the amount of people in that locker room that were talking about, he's been our sort of emotional leader. He's bringing our energy every game, every week, every day at practice. Thought it was interesting to listen to Demario Douglas talk about that, wanting to sort of take on that role of the energy guy, but a big loss, on and off the field.
That's right, Paul. And in the locker room, you realize you lost someone that is unreplaceable because he's so authentic. He's so unique. Like the energy, you can't just say, I'm going to be the energetic guy now. Like it has to be who you are, right?
Good point.
And so I think that's tough, I'd say, also on the field. No one has played more at receiver than Kendrick Bourne. No one has been targeted more at receiver than Kendrick Bourne, and it's not even close. No one has caught more passes than Kendrick Bourne at receiver, and it's not even close. So it's a big drop-off when you lose Kendrick Bourne.
Next man up. Is next man up Booty?
He'll be part of it.
I mean,
right,
I think he'll have an opportunity. I think Tyquan Thornton, was not active in that game, a healthy scratch, Mike. So, maybe it's time to sort of sink or swim with a second-year, second-round pick. Get him out there, let him fight through mistakes. I think Demario Douglas was making some mental errors with route running earlier in the season, and that was holding him back a little bit. But I think
he's progressing.
The last few weeks, I think they've allowed him to play through some of those mistakes, and you're seeing some plays. Maybe Thornton can have the same kind of an impact.
And just add Jalen Reagor to the mix up from the practice squad, and Juju Smith-Schuster, who caught the touchdown pass, who was really fifth in this last game. I think he's got to come up because you lost two guys with Devontae Parker also out with the head injury.
What do you guys think of Mac's performance after coming off the Buffalo one?
Yeah, I thought it was a little disappointing. I thought it was a step back. I thought there was some momentum, as I mentioned at the top. Coming off that fourth quarter comeback, the more than 25 point, there was a lot of zeros in the win column, Mike, that got changed to 1, and you wanted to see, okay, can they build on that? Can they have a more consistent performance again? This one being on the road, and unfortunately they weren't. Mike brought up that turnover, and that's one you've seen a little bit too often from Mac. You're in scoring position, first down, you have a chance to sort of come away with points there. That's a mental and physical error that you can't afford.
I thought that was the one that I would highlight, the interception. I thought that's where the game started to turn. And so to me, a step back. Now, I would acknowledge this, like the contrast in what I saw between what Tua had in his huddle and Mac had in his huddle. I think life would be a lot easier on Mac if you switch the quarterbacks in the huddles. I don't want to take Mac off the hook, though, because I think the interception was bad. And even a couple plays in the third quarter, Paul, like on that first drive, after they got the fumble recovery from Anthony Jennings, I thought on third down, like he's got time. That ball's got to be out,
I think he's still watching the pass rush a little bit too much. And that's what I was really impressed with.
Well, there was more of a pass rush this game, too.
Well, I think that he created it. In my opinion, I thought he had some time to throw. I thought on the play that Mike is talking about, Devontae Parker, a little shallow cross, not a big gain. Probably, maybe would have gotten the first down. Maybe he breaks a tackle, and setting it up down as for a goal to go. But regardless, you can't just sit there and watch the rush come in and take the sack. You got to be, I think, a little bit more prepared to check it down.
All right, guys, so don't go far because we got a lot still more to talk about. The Commanders are coming in next. We'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
we go trick-or-treating with Lauren's guy and his family.
Eat the kids' candy. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. I'll take that one.
But first, a conversation with Captain Matthew Slater.
I still enjoy playing football, and a big part of the reason why they keep me around. So I'm going to point the guys, hopefully in a positive direction.
You're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots. And by Ace Ticket, where New England fans go for tickets to all their favorite events. Visit aceticket.com. And by AdCare. Be recovery strong. Speak up and reach out. Ask for help. Call AdCare at 800-ALCOHOL.
Welcome into the Social Media Minute. I'm Tamara Brown. In the spirit of Halloween, the New England Patriots and Revolution hosted a party that was out of this world. It was a space-themed Halloween party for pediatric cancer patients, and what better way to embrace the theme than for players to dress up as their favorite characters from one of the best kids' movies, Toy Story. Sticking with giving back to children, David Andrews hosted a Strikes for Tykes event raising money for Boston Medical Center. Former and current Patriots teammates of Andrews also attended the event to support the great cause that has raised $3.2 million in the last 13 years. Finishing things up with the Lawrence and Andrea Guy baby shower. Here are some sights and sounds from the event, including a speech from the Guy family.
Glad that you guys are all able to attend this event. This is our 3rd annual baby shower.
That's it for this week's Social Media Minute. I'm Tamara Brown.
Welcome back to All Access presented by GEICO. No one expected this Patriots record after 8 games. Dan Roach asks, can New England turn things around?
Week 8 did not go well for the Patriots as they came up short against the Dolphins down in Miami. The Pats now 2-6 on the season.
I think we're all just looking at ourselves and just looking in the mirror really and just seeing like, how do we get here? Obviously, we lost the games, but individual and as a team, what can we do?
Losing Kendrick Bourne to a season-ending knee injury was a devastating blow for the offense, but they know they have to quickly move on.
The next guy has to step up and fill that role, and it'll probably be several guys. I don't know who those guys will be right now. It comes down to the practice field. It really does. How do you practice? Are you ready to go? By the time Saturday, Sunday rolls around, then Bill will determine who's active for the game. That's really how it is. And so it's a big week for the receivers.
I think the young guys and old guys have a great chance, great opportunity for us to work together, kind of go out there and create some explosive plays and see what we can do to kind of get this thing rolling.
The NFL trade deadline came and went on Tuesday, and New England stood pat. Washington did not, as they dealt away their top 2 pass rushers in Montez Sweat and Chase Young.
Obviously, they wouldn't trade those guys if they didn't feel very confident in the guys who are going to be playing, so we just got to look at who they're going to play and, work to see what they do and how we can beat them in any way that we, run past.
One other midweek NFL news note, after a year and a half, the Las Vegas Raiders parted ways with head coach Josh McDaniels and GM Dave Ziegler. And finally, this team may be 2-6, but as they're ready for the 3-5 Washington Commanders, they remain motivated.
When I walk into the locker room, I see a bunch of guys ready to play ball. A lot of the guys aren't pouting. They're not freaking walking around with their heads down. They're ready to get after it this week.
Fact of the week, Washington is one of 10 teams the Patriots are undefeated at home here at Gillette Stadium against in their lifetime, 2-0. The teams they've beaten the most, Houston and Cleveland, at 5-0. For Patriots All Access, I'm Dan Roach.
All right, Dan Roach, thank you very much for joining me now as Special Teams Captain Matthew Slater. Good to see you, my friend.
Great to see you.
I'm going to get serious, but I'm also going to have some fun with you as well.
Sounds good.
You've been in this situation before. What's your inspiration now?
I think now it goes back to your commitment to the game, your commitment to your teammates. I think all of us have to remember how blessed we are to be doing this. Mm-hmm. And, regardless of outcomes, we owe the game 100%. We owe each other 100%. So it's a test of character. We're going to build some character. We're going to find out who we are. I still believe in that group. I'm still honored to be a part of it. So we're just going to take it one day at a time.
You are the elder statesman in that locker room. Is your wisdom needed now more than ever?
Well, I don't know. I try to give as much insight, inspiration, advice, mentorship as possible. I think that's a big part of the reason why I still enjoy playing football, and a big part of the reason why they keep me around. So I'm going to point the guys, hopefully in a positive direction. And I always challenge the guys, look, now is when we need the best version of you. You don't need the best version of a guy when things are going well and you can run from the front. When you're struggling, when you're fighting, we need everybody to be the best version of themselves.
Fighting through adversity. Do you get a sense this team is still willing to fight?
I do. I don't feel like anyone here has the mindset of, hey, let's throw in the towel, let's quit. I think all the guys are still committed to the process. The coaching staff is obviously committed to the process. Ownership is obviously committed to the process. So, look, it hasn't gone the way we would have liked. We understand that, but there are 9 games left, and that's an eternity in football, so we'll see how it goes.
And as you're going through all this, as you're battling, guys are going down. Guys like Kendrick Bourne and others. When you think about Kendrick Bourne and what he brings to the table, well, you tell me, what does he bring to the table?
Yeah, I mean, it's been a challenging year in terms of injuries. Your heart breaks for guys, and definitely my heart was broken for KB to get that news this week. I always say about KB, you get the most authentic, energetic person you've ever met in your life. I mean, he is 100% authentic. His joy is contagious. It's real. And you and I both know that comes from his faith. So we'll definitely miss that in the locker room. Nobody's going to be able to pick up the slack there because we all have to just be ourselves. But, we're really hurting for him, and, we're going to miss him a ton.
All right, let's have a little fun. You dressed up as Yoda at the children's Halloween party. Why Yoda?
Well, it was one of the most comfortable costumes they were offering, and I figured if I'm the oldest guy there, I might as well be Yoda. So what a fun party, though, to be with those children. I think it gives you perspective on life, right? We think we're going through something tough, but those kids battling cancer and different illnesses, they're really going through something tough. So it was refreshing to be with them, and I think they put more smiles on our faces than we actually put on theirs.
You got to be a dad. You are a dad, but you get to be a dad, especially on Halloween. Take me through that night.
Yeah, I had my oldest 3 out there. We were just running around, grabbing candy.
Who's grabbing the most?
Probably my 4-year-old. He was leading the charge, sprinting from house to house, trying his hardest to get hit by a car. I'm like, son, you gotta get out of the street. So they had a blast. Just to see the joy on their faces, and to see their mouths full of candy. It was a fun night.
Did that take you back to you and your dad?
It did. I remember my dad and I hitting the pavement with my brother, pillowcases, eager to fill the entire pillowcase. It was always a lot of fun.
Good luck on Sunday, my friend.
Thanks a lot.
You got it.
Appreciate it.
Matthew Slater, I guess we'll be back with more Patriots All Access right after this.
Congratulations to Kevin Gadsden of O'Brien High School, who is being honored as our High School Coach of the Week. The Tigers moved to 6-1 on the season after defeating Minutemen Regional last week. Presenting the award is Patriots and Pro Football Hall of Famer Andre Tippett.
I was fortunate to grow up with similar support, and it helped me make a lot of good decisions through my lifetime, man. And like I said, this game has been good to me.
The Patriots Charitable Foundation will donate $1,000 to the O'Brien High School football program in the name of their head coach, Kevin Gadsden.
He's going to flat.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Time to sit down, talk to Coach Belichick. And Coach, after you look at the Miami tape, what stood out to you? What are some missed opportunities for you guys?
Yeah, just couldn't make the plays we need to make at critical times. Third down was obviously a key thing, red area. A couple fourth down plays, so just need to make more plays in those critical situations.
Is that game hard after a divisional game the prior week where we sat here and we talked about how good all three phases were and sort of they all played off each other? It's really the National Football League, right? Things change week to week, and it's hard to carry it over.
Yeah, every week's a tough week in the National Football League. Got to be ready to go.
Record says you're 2-6. Do you believe that's the type of team that I have? I know you've always said before, you are what you are.
Yeah, well, we're just taking it week to week, get ready for Washington this week, and that's all we can control.
Washington, we don't know a lot about them. New helmet, new owner, new coach. What do you see in Washington when you turn on the tape?
A lot of passes offensively and a whole bunch of first-round picks on the defensive line. They're really good. They're good defense, and they throw the ball a lot on offense.
And I know we're going to get to the Belestrator, and we're going to look at some of their edge rushers and maybe the middle of their defense. But a guy like Sam Howell, I've never saw Sam Howell really play. But how is he sort of taking over the reins down there, and how do they play around him?
Well, they have a good complement of receivers, tight ends, and they're very, with Coach Belichick as the offensive coordinator, they're a very pass-heavy team, so they throw the ball a lot.
Do they do a lot of concepts that Kansas City did, or is it different?
Yeah, it's similar to what Kansas City did.
Yeah. You've coached against a team from Washington pretty much your whole career. Like I said, new helmets, new owner, new name, new quarterback. Do you see a little bit of a reset and a revitalization there? That they're young, they're playing hard, and maybe they've turned a corner a little bit here?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, they have they have a good mix of young players and some veterans and very experienced coaching staff with Coach Del Rio and obviously Coach Rivera and Bieniemy. Those guys have been around for a long time, so they're a very experienced staff with a good mix of players.
All right, time now for the Ace Ticket Twitter question of the week. It comes from @TonyB1095. I'm not going to ask you about the refs. I know you can't comment on the refs, but is there a process in effect throughout all 32 teams in the league where weekly you could have communication with the league if you want an understanding as to why the play was called this way or why it wasn't called? I remember back when I played, we would send, 8 plays in weekly. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. Is that still in effect in the league?
Yeah, if you ask a question, they'll give you an answer. Mm-hmm.
All right, good stuff. If you want to ask the coach a question, have to follow the team on Twitter @Patriots, hashtag it, AskBB. More Patriots All Access right after this.
Coming up on All Access.
A look into tight end Mike Gesicki's journey to the National Football League.
I didn't start playing football until middle school. Then I played volleyball in high school, and I played basketball since the time I was just a little kid. But started to realize I wasn't going to go to the NBA, and had a better chance at having a profession and a career in football. So
you're watching Patriots All Access.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Putnam Investments. Putnam Investments and the New England Patriots, proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off. By Gillette Labs with exfoliating bar, Gillette's ultimate shaving experience. And by Dan O'Brien Auto. Come in to any Dan O'Brien Auto Group store today and get your awesome protection plan, keeping it awesome. This player profile is brought to you by Pepsi.
Welcome back to All Access, presented by GEICO. It's time now for one of our continuing series, The Journey, presented by Acronis and Hub Tech. This week, tight end Mike Gesicki is highlighted. As you will see, the South Jersey native's background has been quite conducive to a career in the National Football League.
The Jersey Shore is my spot, man. I was joking around with my wife this year. We went to Italy, and we're on the beach in Italy, and we're looking around. It's unbelievable, and I'm like, it's great, but it's just, it just doesn't compare to New Jersey. And she's just like, oh my goodness, we're on the Amalfi Coast in Europe right now, and you're talking about New Jersey.
It's
Grew up a New Jersey Nets guy and a Giants fan. Basketball was always my favorite sport growing up. I didn't start playing football until middle school. Then I played volleyball in high school, and I played basketball since like the time I was, just a little kid. So that was always my favorite sport. But started to realize I wasn't going to go to the NBA, and had a better chance at having a profession and a career in football. So. Yeah, volleyball. There's a lot of excitement in that sport. You get in the gym and they pack it, and it's a lot of fun. Coach O'Brien came to my high school. Got a chance to meet him. I mean, it was obviously at that point in my life, I was like, this is incredible. I got the head coach at Penn State at our high school, so it was a really cool opportunity. 16, 17 years old, getting advice from Coach O'Brien, who, just said, coached the New England Patriots and Rob Gronkowski and, all these talented, players on offense. It was me, I'm sitting there, almost starstruck as a 16, 17-year-old kid. I had it down to Penn State and Ohio State. I mean, Coach O'Brien was, he was, straight shooter. He was like, if you want to come to Penn State, like, great, and, we'll, coach you up, and you have a lot of potential to be great, but like, not going to promise you anything. And ultimately, I committed there, and then, ironically, 2 months later, he called me and said, "Hey, I'm going to Houston." I said, "All right, Coach, see you later." So yeah. If I could have stayed there for 10 years, I would have. After my sophomore year, going into my junior year, I saw a little bit of potential and opportunity in the offense to make a ton of plays.
To the end zone, right Q, look for the big tight end, Kirk, good call, touchdown Lions.
Ultimately, if I made the most of my opportunities, that I would have the opportunity of a lifetime that I've dreamed about, and that's kind of when it clicked for me.
The Miami Dolphins select Mike Gesicki, tight end, Penn State.
Draft day was cool. Definitely thought that the second round was a possibility, and ultimately got drafted in the second round to Miami and was down there for 5 years, and had a great time, and kind of grew into the person and the player I am today. So I always had confidence in myself to be able to go out and make plays, but it was my second year in the league. Wasn't really playing a ton starting off the year, and then we got in a 2-minute drill, like 5th game of the season, something like that, and we were playing Washington, and in a 2-minute drill, and our quarterback at the time, Ryan Fitzpatrick, threw a back shoulder ball to me like 30 yards down the field, down the seam, and went up and made the catch, and it was just like, I knew that was like the opportunity that I had to make the most of in that moment, and I did. And in this league, it's almost like, you make a play and coaches see it. It's like, all right, let's give him another opportunity. And that was kind of the first of ultimately many coming my way. And so I always think back to that play. I had a couple opportunities at a couple different teams, and there was negotiations everywhere, but I felt like this was probably the best spot for me, and saw an opportunity and wanted to come here and make the most of it.
Second and goal to go from the left hash one. Andrews over the football to snap it back. Jones has it. Looks to his right. Throws it to the right. Got it! Touchdown! He's got it! Patriots!
Basketball was always my plan, but had always wanted to be a professional athlete, and that was my goal from day one. And definitely would have been shocked it was football. I was, blessed with, the size, and I think that's, some of the battle for some of the people that say it. And then ultimately, you got to go out and do it when the lights come on, and in high school on Fridays, and in college on Saturdays, and Sundays in the NFL. Like, you got to go out and make the plays, because ultimately, that's what gets you to the next level, and gets you paid and wins you games and all that kind of stuff. So, there's only so many spots and so many opportunities, and you got to make the most of them.
The Patriots players celebrate the holidays too, just like you and I. Hey, let's go out with Lawrence Guy and his family on Halloween.
You can't double count the houses, bro.
Hey, trick or treat.
First it was just, hey, we're going to stay at the house, give away candy. Now it's just, we get to spend Halloween with friends and family. We got the whole gang out here. But as the group gets bigger, I feel like it's more enjoyable. You can enjoy the experience, and you get the home feeling as you go out here in the cold and trick or treat. LJ, what about that house?
Yes!
Eat the kids' candy. I got more than one bucket to steal from. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. I'll take that one. I'll take that sucker. Is that house got candy? So let's go.
Trick or treat, trick or treat.
What? Is this Spider-Man?
I see. Is that cool?
Wow. Oh, no, that's awesome right there. I play football, but when I'm not at the facility, it's all about family. So any given time I get a chance to be with them, hang out with them, and do activities. Oh, no, this house is awesome. Are you sitting down and having a snack? People always say, what is your why? I keep playing my wife, my kids, and my family. So when I have free time, I'm with them.
What's flavor?
I don't know what flavor that is.
Banana.
Banana. We go trick-or-treating and can't forget about our own childhood and how it was when we went trick-or-treating and those memories, and now bringing them in with your kids is amazing.
This was fun. Let's head back.
Nearly 17 years ago, October 28, 2007, the Patriots put a beating on the then Washington Redskins. For just the third time in his NFL career, Tom Brady had not one, but 2 rushing touchdowns.
Brady takes the direct snap, goes back, looks, starts to run with it. Now he's going to run it and take it in. Touchdown!
But this game was a Mike Vrabel special. The recently inducted Patriots Hall of Famer had 3 sacks that also forced fumbles.
Direct snap to Campbell. Here's a rush. Back to pass. Hit, sack, fumble. Ball on the ground. Picked up. Golden down and in. Touchdown.
He also had a touchdown catch.
Play action fake. Right side. Touchdown. Mike Vrabel.
As New England moved to 8-0 on the year in beating Washington 52-7.
How we feel about a 52-7 victory? Oh, yeah!
Welcome back to All Access. Time for the Belestrator. Bob Socci stepping in for Scott Zolak with Coach Bill Belichick. And Bill, we see Washington this week, a team we don't see a lot of, but they're coming off one of their better offensive performances this season.
Yeah, sure did, Bob. They played very well against the Eagles, and we know the Eagles are a good defense, good pass rushing group, and so the Commanders have the ball here on inside the 30-yard line, and this touchdown pass down here to McLaurin at the top of the screen. It runs a nice little kind of out and up bend move here on Bradbury, and the ball's right on the money. McLaurin gazes up. This guy's really a good receiver. Fast. He can attack the defense vertically, intermediate areas, and he's good on the catch and run plays underneath, so he's really a tough guy to defend.
Yeah, coming off 3 straight 1,000-yard seasons.
Yeah, I mean, Howell put the ball right on him there. All right, here we are a little later in the game, Washington has kind of their best passing group of people on the game. This is McLaurin up here at the top of the screen. Gibson's the running back. Dotson, Logan Thomas, and Crowder down here at the bottom. And another end zone type of play here with Thomas on the over route, Crowder down the sideline, and Dotson right up the middle here. A little, switch release on the with the inside receivers, and working on the rookie safety here from Philadelphia, and end up, springing Dotson free here for another touchdown. Howell season hits him, the big play.
Yeah, another of his 4 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, and here it comes. This is Logan Thomas. Logan Thomas is, extended away from the formation a lot. Sometimes he's, at the number 3 spot. Here he's at the number 2 spot. Sometimes he's on the backside here, and occasionally he's outside. So they kind of move him around all over the place. But big guy, big target, good red area receiver. And you can see here he comes and, runs a little slant pattern. Howell just, stuffs it in there to him. Big body, good hands, good catch. Hard guy to defend down here in the red area. So, Howell's really done a good job of spreading the ball around to everybody this year, the backs, the tight ends, the receivers. Done a nice job here of, making some of these clutch third down, red area passes, 2-minute passes that they need.
All right, Coach. Good stuff. Shut down the Commanders on Sunday. All the best.
All right. Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Head coach Bill Belichick and the Belestrator back with more All Access right after this.
Patriots All Access is brought to you by Bank of America, the official bank of the New England Patriots, and by Putnam Investments. Putnam Investments and the Patriots, proud partners committed to an active game plan on the field and off.
Welcome back to Patriots All Access. Back with Mike Reese and Paul Perillo. To fight or not to fight?
That is the question.
That is the question. Who's going to fight?
Mike and I are going to fight.
Are there fighters in that locker room?
I do think, they do. This is an interesting one to me.
Why are you stuttering?
Because I can see it going both ways. I think it means an awful lot to Bill Belichick. I think he has a ton of professionalism. Right. I think that probably goes unsaid. I mean, I think we all can see that. But there are a lot of guys, Steve, that are coming up on the final year of their contracts, and you start to wonder when you get in the second half of a lost season if guys start saying, I want to make sure I stay healthy. I don't want to have any surgeries in the offseason. I got to hit free agency at 100% from a health standpoint. I just kind of worry about that. We keep an eye on injury lists in the second half of the season. Sure. Business decisions is how we would characterize it. We haven't really been in that position, Steve, right? Covering the Patriots over the last 23 years of Bill Belichick's tenure. I think they'll fight. I think I'll use this last game as an example. I mean, I thought they were one possession game in the fourth quarter, when it was an uphill climb for them for the better part of the middle two quarters of the game. So I've seen them fight. I've been in the locker room, I feel like, on a day-to-day basis throughout the year, and I think they're going to fight. I don't see them being the type of team that would not come out and put forth at least a maximum effort.
Well, don't you think they have to fight? I mean, think about this. We're at the halfway point of the season. They've only played 8 games.
Human nature, though, Steve. You've only played 8 games.
They got 9 games
what are you
left.
playing for, though, Steve? What are those 9 games? What's at the end of the rainbow? Your playoffs? Like, you're going to give me a playoffs? Like,
well,
you know what I mean? So, I think that's the point.
But you're professional athletes, too.
Right. And I understand that there's sort of an assumption to be made that these guys, and there are some young guys, too, that I wouldn't expect to be cashing in their chips. I mean, they have to establish themselves as NFL players and create roles for themselves. I thought Keon White, as an example, in Miami, was as active in physical as I've seen him in any of the games. Right. I really hadn't noticed him much since the opener. I thought against Philadelphia he splashed a little bit, Mike, but hadn't seen a lot of him since. I thought he really took a step forward in that Miami game. Some of the other younger guys probably looking for the similar kind of progression.
All right, let's look at the schedule. Washington, Colts. They're winnable games, right? The question is, can they win them?
Yeah, I think they have the Giants coming out of the bye after the Colts game. Yeah, sure. I think these games are all coin flip kind of games, and it's one of those deals where what Mike and I are talking about might make the difference. Do they come with a positive frame of mind? Do they put a lot of effort into their game plan and execute the game plan and play? I don't want to say mistake free, but a lot less of the turnovers than in the mistakes, the penalties that we've seen. Yes, these are winnable games. It's not easy. They're going to have to play better to win them.
The other teams, like Washington and Indianapolis, they have similar shows to us. They're not as good as All Access, I will say. I've seen them. All due respect. They're asking the same question that you asked.
Got a winnable game this week.
You got the Patriots coming up. Winnable game, and so I think that's important. I was down in South Florida, pick up the local newspaper, and it said, role reversal. Will the Dolphins overlook the Patriots, and not fall into the trap? So I think we have to also be honest about this team, the Patriots, when we say winnable games. Yes, the other teams are saying the same thing when they look at the Patriots.
All right, prediction time. Do they win this one against the Commanders? Yes or no?
I think there's some things that Washington does that I think will cause some problems. They can score, and they have some weapons, Mike, on offense. Terry McLaurin at the top of that list, a really underrated, productive wide receiver. They've been able to score points and find ways to lose games. I think this one, the Patriots will slow them down enough. I'm going to say this isn't going to be easy. You're not going to like my prediction. Patriots, I have it as a win.
Okay, well, that's
20-19.
19?
Really
I think
close.
It could go either way.
You like the 19
19?
number.
19?
Yeah.
20 to 19, a lot of field
How
goals.
do you get to 19?
Touchdown and 4 field goals.
Okay.
You know the season scoreboard.
Checking math.
Paul's got 3 up on me, right?
Yeah,
so,
yeah, okay.
So I either got to start picking against him just to catch up or go with him because he's always right and I'm always wrong. So I'm going with him. But I'm not going 19 points for Washington. I'll go Patriots. I'll say 24-17. You're 19.
17.
Yeah.
Okay.
24-17.
All right.
Yeah.
Them both winning. I like that.
We do.
Thank you. That will do it for this week's edition of Patriots All Access. For Mike Reese and Paul Perillo, I'm Steve Burton. Have a great week, everybody.